Imagine, if you will, saving up for a brand new motorbike. You go to the dealer, you pick it up, and before you even get it home, the thing has got the check engine light on. And to make matters worse, before it gets fixed, the dealer goes bust. Sounds like a bit of a nightmare scenario, but that's the scenario I'm in. Anyway, hello and welcome to CG Rides. And you find me today on my Moto Guzzi V85 TT, and we're just heading off to Silverstone for the British MotoGP. Now today is Saturday, so we're going to go and enjoy FP3 and the qualifying for all of the different classes. So looking forward to that. I might shoot some content and put another video up about that, but for this video I wanted to update you all on my Moto Guzzi V7 850 Special. And I absolutely love the bike. It's a fantastic machine, but it has this annoying bug where the check engine light is on. Now, I thought this might be something to do with an oxygen sensor, but actually, as it turns out, the bike is detecting a misfire. Now, I can assure you the bike is not misfiring on a V-twin like this, and it only ever happens when it's on the power. Well, you would know about it. If a V-twin drops a cylinder when you're on the power, you definitely know that. So the bike isn't misfiring, and it's some kind of software gremlin. I'll come back to that. What I wanted to do was tell you about my experience with the purchase of this bike and with the dealer. It's not been a particularly great experience. In my previous video I didn't say where I bought the bike from, but I will in this one. It was Moto Corsa in Gillingham, or Gillingham, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. I've bought a bike from them before. This V85 actually came from them, and that was a slightly odd experience. At the time when I bought this bike, they just had a flood in their showroom, so they were a bit topsy-turvy, which I understand. But for the whole process of purchasing the bike, the guy didn't offer me a seat. I had to stand up for doing all the paperwork, which I found was a bit odd. And I actually had this bike delivered to me, and they picked up 2 bikes from me in part exchange. And when it arrived, it was not very clean. It was covered in dust, and one of the indicators was hanging off, and the mirror was loose. So the first thing I had to do with my bike is tighten up the mirror, fix the indicator, and clean it. It's not really what you want with a new bike, but you know, I'm a forgiving sort of chap. I just thought, well, you know, these things happen, and it doesn't matter at the end of the day. So I've taken the bike back there for servicing, and I've used Moto Corsa in the past anyway for servicing. We used to have a Benelli Tornado, and those guys serviced it for me. So I was generally happy that the service was okay. So when I decided to buy the V7, I went back to Moto Corsa, and the experience wasn't great once I'd bought the bike. I mean, sure, they were absolutely brilliant when it came to buying the bike. On the day I went to pick it up, they gave me a breakfast in their cafe, and it was all very nice. I bought the bike, and it had some specials with it, special offers. It had a free lifetime warranty. There was a bike cover as well, and I didn't have any room to take the bike cover home. The sales guy said, oh well, that's okay, we'll post that out to you. They never posted it to me. I never got that. I don't care, I don't want it, but if you say you're going to do something, you should do it. Anyway, it was a Friday when I picked the bike up. A bank holiday weekend in the UK. The Monday was the public holiday. So I got home about 4:30, 5. I'm pretty fed up because the check engine light has come on a brand new bike. That shouldn't happen. I immediately phoned the sales guy and say how disappointed I am, and I would expect in that situation that the owners of the business would literally fall over themselves to fix it. Someone's just been and dropped an enormous amount of money on a brand new bike, and it's not right. If that was my business, I would do whatever it took, work the weekend, work late, whatever, until I'd fix the problem. And I didn't get that response at all. What I got was everything shut because it's bank holiday weekend, so we're not doing anything till Tuesday. So again, you just sort of think, well, okay, fair enough, they deserve their holiday. I'll have to wait. At the end of the day, it's not like the bike was immobilized. You know, we need to be realistic here. There's nothing wrong with the running of the bike. It's just that this light is on. Anyway, I thought to myself, well, come Tuesday morning, I'll have the owner of the business on the phone. He'll be, you know, offering to come and pick up the bike and remedy the situation, and you know, they'll probably offer me a free service and all of that kind of stuff. Not that I was particularly looking for any of that, but that's what you expect. That's the level of service you'd expect. Tuesday comes, Tuesday goes. I didn't get a call, nothing. And I had a trip scheduled to go to Wales, so I took the other bike. Late on Wednesday afternoon, I got an email from the service centre, which was just simply saying, give us a call or you know, arrange a date to book your bike in. I don't see why they couldn't have done that on the Friday, but there we go. And so I just replied to the email. I said, well, I'm available on this date, can you confirm? And Thursday came and went with no response to my email. Friday morning, still no response. So I changed all my plans. I phoned them up and I said, look, I can bring the bike in today, can you accommodate me? And they agreed to accommodate me at short notice, which was great. It's a shame that I had to chase that, but here we are then, a week later. So I hop on the bike, my dad joined me for the ride, and we went over to the service centre. The guy took it in, did the diagnostic, reset the light, went for a test ride, came back and the light was back on again. And so this goes on, and we're getting a bit, you know, bored waiting. So I borrowed a bike and we nipped round the corner to Compton Abbas Airfield and had some lunch. And when we got back, the mechanic said he'd reset the light several times. He'd been on the phone with Moto Guzzi, spoken to one of their techs. He told me that what the issue was, it was detecting a misfire, and Moto Guzzi wanted to do some more tests and diagnostics. He flashed the software on the bike at least twice, and eventually the light went off and stayed off for his test ride, and so I took it on home. I was happy. I thought, okay, great, it's been resolved. 20 miles down the road, guess what? Yeah, check engine light back on again. And you know, that's pretty irritating, to say the least. So what do you do about it? Well, I immediately contacted the dealership again, and I didn't really get much in the way of response. I had to continually chase them. In the end, I phoned up. You know what they're like when you buy a bike. It's like, any problems at all, you just give us a call. We're more than happy to sort it out. You know, it's absolute rubbish. It's just stuff they say. Because the sales guy I dealt with actually was the one who picked up the phone. And I just said my name and said hello, and the tone of his voice just completely dropped. I was pretty fed up with that, and I called him on it. And he changed his tune a little bit, and he said he was going to get the general manager, a chap called David, to sort things out. Well, I eventually heard from David, and I can't remember the exact timeline. I'm busy out riding the bike, I haven't got my emails in front of me and everything, but we're a couple of weeks in by now. And I have this conversation with David, who took on board all the points that I made about the bad service, the lack of communication, and the fact that they're not empathetic at all to my situation, where I've bought a brand new bike that's got this issue. Yes, this is a minor issue. The bike rides perfectly. It's just a light, but it's a light that devalues the bike. I want it sorted out. And in the UK, we have consumer rights with regard to vehicles. In the first month of buying a vehicle, you have the right to reject it. So that time is swiftly running out, and then up to 6 months, you still have that right to reject. It's up to the dealer to prove that the fault wasn't present at the outset, and they get one opportunity to repair it. If they fail that repair, you have the right to reject the bike, albeit with an amount deducted for the use that you've had up to that point. So with those rights in my mind, of course completely worthless now, but with those rights in my mind, I want the thing sorted out. David, in all fairness, he said to me, well, we'll send the van over, we'll pick the bike up, we'll do all the diagnostics that Moto Guzzi want, and we'll reset the light, and we'll bring the bike back to you. And then when you're up to first service mileage, we'll come and get it again, and if it needs resetting again, we'll do that, and hopefully by then Moto Guzzi will have found the solution. I don't want to have a bike with the light on because it devalues the bike. When it comes to being 3 years old, in the UK, it then has to have an annual inspection, which is called an MOT, and a check engine light is a failure for the MOT. So it's going to cause me problems down the road if it doesn't get sorted out. what I agreed with David, I said there's no point in you bringing your van over and collecting it and resetting the light only to do the same thing again at first service. So fine, I'll ride it up to first service mileage, 900 miles. And it's taken me about 6 weeks to do that. And then I dropped David a line, just dropped him an email saying I've hit first service mileage, you kindly offered to pick the bike up, so it's ready for collection. I got the usual out of office response, and he said he was going to be back in on the Monday. That's a couple of weeks ago now, and yeah, I haven't had a single response from him. Absolutely hopeless service. And in the meantime, someone posted a comment on my other video saying Moto Corsa had gone into liquidation. Now, I don't know any details about this, but from what I can see online, they shut the showroom. Now, this particular dealer has a separate showroom and service centre. Apparently the service centre is still open, but the showroom is shut. So if they're open and wanting to do business, you'd expect him to respond to my email, which he hasn't done. I've seen reports, I don't know how true these things are because, you know, at the end of the day it's on internet forums, but if you do search for details on Moto Corsa, it would seem that the showroom was still taking deposits on new bikes just the day before it closed its doors, and apparently posted security outside. So I imagine some people have lost a whole bunch of money on this, and that's really sad. And for me, in my situation, even if they now get in touch with me and say, yeah, we'll come and pick up the bike, the problem I have is that the bike needs to be tested cold and hot, which means leaving it with them for a few days. And I'm not leaving my bike in a place that's on the verge of bankruptcy if that is indeed the case. You know, if you were to do that and they were to go under and shut the doors, you're not getting your bike back. It's going to be locked in there, and you know, the receivers come in and the creditors need to be paid, and chances of getting your bike back out of there are very slim. I'm just not up for that at all. As it happens, there's a Moto Guzzi dealer in Exeter, SP Motorcycles. I bought a bike from them before, they seem to be decent guys, so I've booked in with them now for the first service and the warranty work, which they seem perfectly happy to do. The only problem is, of course, they're busy, it's summer, so I'm in the queue now, and I've still got a couple of weeks before I can take the bike down to SP and get it resolved. So there'll be a future update once I've done that. But yeah, what a nightmare situation, really. I mean, thank goodness it's only a stupid software bug and not something actually critical to the bike. But I'm frustrated. I can't ride the bike at the moment because it's up to service mileage. I don't want to go over the mileage. So I'm losing the summer of riding. After spending all this money, it's just really, really poor service. Moto Guzzi, if anybody from Moto Guzzi is watching this video, you guys need to pull your finger out, because this is not good enough. This is not acceptable service. You know, I'm somebody who's bought 2 of your bikes and was very interested in the V100. You know, you shouldn't treat loyal customers in this way. You should pull out the stops to fix the problem. You don't leave us with these issues whilst you try and work out some kind of software kludge. Now, I know, of course, that there are going to be people in the comments section say, well, Italian bikes, unreliable, this and that. And yeah, I don't buy into those stereotypes, because I've had a lot of different bikes over the years, and I've had brand new bikes from Kawasaki, Triumph and Honda that have all had issues. And in the case of Honda, that was the worst experience I've ever had. And Honda are revered as the best in motorcycling. Great build quality, great service. You know, they're very prestigious. No, not prestigious. What's the word I'm looking for? They're a premium brand. You expect a premium service from them. Now, in 2009, I bought a CB 1300, the one with the little fairing on. It was my dream bike at the time. And as is the norm, I planned a trip in Wales to go and test it out, shake it down, get it up to first service mileage, and the thing just wouldn't run properly. It was misfiring, it was sluggish, it was a miserable experience. And I took it back to the dealer, and they had it for weeks. I don't remember how many weeks it was, but it was the whole of the good weather for that year. The day I went to pick the bike up is the day it started raining, and then it didn't stop for months. So it was just a miserable, rotten experience, that bike. And Honda, they didn't give me a loan bike. They just took my bike for all of that time, this brand new machine, and they did give me a credit. I think it was £250 of service credit for the trouble, and then when I tried to use it, they refused to honour it. So that's Honda for you. So no, I don't buy into the stereotypes. It doesn't matter where your bike was built, which country or which manufacturer. You can have a bad experience or a good experience with any of the brands, whether they're premium brands or cheaper brands or Italian brands, whatever. I'm sure you guys have got some horror stories to share. Please share those in the comments. If you've bought a V7 850, don't go panicking, please, on the basis of my experience. They've had to do a lot of stuff to get these old air-cooled pushrod engines to get through Euro 5 compliance, and it's inevitable that there's going to be some teething issues, just inevitable. I wouldn't worry overly. The dealership did tell me that Piaggio Group, which also have a Aprilia in their stable, this is a problem on Aprilia bikes. A lot of the new Aprilias have had check engine light issues, and they have fixed those with software updates. So let's wait and see. I'll reserve judgment and see what happens. Anyway, let me know what you think. I'm going to go and enjoy some MotoGP. The weather is beautiful, should be a great day. Looking forward to it. And I'll catch you guys again next time. CG Rides.